What is going on, everybody? Another episode of 4x4 Camping and Adventures, and in today's episode, something a bit different. Well, sort of. The reason I'm making this episode is I've just come back from the 4-wheel drive show, and fantastic show, met some great people, made some new friends, all that kind of thing. And I was asking people how they do their videos, and it seemed like everyone had a bit of the same sort of way of doing it. Big camera, Sony, frameless, whatever. Obviously editing home, editing software at home, big desktop, Mac or whatever you're using. And I wanted to, to reinvigorate the video creating process, because the way I used to do it was big DSLR, run away from the car, put the camera there, come back, do all the video. But it was quite cumbersome. And then I had obviously the GoPros, all that kind of stuff with me. And I sort of thought, how do I do this better? And I was due for a new phone. So I've got an iPhone 14 Pro that you can literally see me through right now. So this is all getting captured on the device that I'm going to be using for my main camera now. And it's 4K, it's HDR, it does Dolby Digital, Atmos sound, it does everything, right? So it's a very, very capable little device that goes in your pocket. And then I thought, how do I make this easier for me, so when I'm out and about and making these videos and doing trips and that kind of stuff, I'd love to be able to edit while I'm on the trip, because I think that would be next level for creativity, especially when you're out and about. You're already in the wilderness, you're already seeing all the birds chirping and the trees rustling in the wind and all that kind of stuff. And I sort of thought to myself, if I could edit out here, you sort of capture that moment you're in. Because when you obviously film a video, you got to drag all that information back, chuck it on a computer, edit it, and you have distractions, you have life, all those kind of things get in the way. And then you generally have a deadline because you want the video to come out at a certain time, because you might have hyped it up or whatever on social media. So you sort of do get a little bit, I feel like you sort of miss the moment. So essentially this video is about how I've completely changed my video capture, editing, everything. Another part of this video is, if you want to become a YouTuber, you can do this with a phone that's in your pocket right now. With a few little tweaks and changes, you can actually start making YouTube videos, and it's that easy. So essentially in that video I'm going to cover the new editing process and a whole suite of products that I'm going to use, and show you guys what to look forward to next year, and including the rest of this year, and how I'm going to capture it all through this device that I'm looking at you right now. So let's get into it. All right, the back end of the car. So let's go through the setup. Pretty simple. It's obviously an iPhone. So iPhone 14 Pro, really good camera. Probably one of the best, I don't want to get controversial and that kind of stuff, but it's probably one of the best mobile phone cameras you can get. So especially for video. But the rest of the setup, right? So the camera is only part of it. Camera, you're capturing, what you're seeing. Audio is a massive part. And starting from my early days of having absolutely shocking audio, I do wonder how people actually watch the videos I made, because everything was out of balance and sounded horrible. I have now, that's actually sitting in my pocket right now, got one of these guys. It's an Olympus, I've had this for a while, Olympus LS100. Essentially it's a multi-track recorder. So what I do is I get my lapel mic, or I use my wireless lapel mics that I've got to hook up to this guy and talk to you guys. So you do get a much, much clearer sound, and the audio is generally crystal clear. You don't get any of that wind noise, all those little things. So what I'll actually show you is the audio coming out of the camera right now, and then I'm going to switch to the audio that's coming out of my lapel right now. So you can see a massive difference there. So it's worth investing, I believe, in a separate audio device. You can also use the microphones that are built into this device to capture sounds and B-roll sounds and that kind of stuff in the Outback, so if you want to. But the rest of the gear fits in this bag. So let me show you my bag of tricks. And this is the best thing I love about this setup. Everything fits into this bag. So I've got my microphones, my case that holds the LS100 plus a few cables. I've got my 3-foot Monster, which is a magnetic. I actually won this on Instagram, which is pretty cool. It's a 3-foot, it's a magnetic GoPro holder, so you can put that anywhere in your car. I've also got drone charging. I've got a selfie stick if you want to use your GoPros when you're talking to the camera. I've got all the little attachments, all the GoPro stuff, generally, you know, lights, all that kind of thing. If you're going to be filming at night time, make sure you get some good lights. Then in the front bag here, I've got my headphones. I'll get into those later, but they are going to be for editing on the go. So they're sound deadening, and you can generally fix the audio. Fix the audio when you're out and about, so you don't get any sort of like, you know, noises around you, if you know what I mean. Chargers are plenty, and then I've got in here 2 GoPros. So this one's an Osmo Action. It's just a normal action camera, really good quality. And then I've got a GoPro, I feel like saying 5 or 6. It's a pretty old one now, but it does the job, and they generally just stick on the outside of the car. Don't mind if they get smashed around too much, because that's what they're built for, if you know what I mean. And in the front there, I've got a few little attachments for like mounting the GoPro in different places of the car. Extra batteries at the front here, cables, extra, what are they called? I'm always losing these things, little screw adapter things that you use for your GoPros, always losing them. So they'll sit in the front there, as I said, extra batteries, all that kind of jazz in the front there. So it's all pretty well hidden away, tucked away, making life very, very easy. So I've also got in the front here a USB to USB-C, a USB-C multi-connector. So this connects USB, connects headphones, SD cards, HDMI, all that kind of stuff. So I'll get into that a little bit later, but that's essential for the piece. I've got a brick charger, because I've got 240 outlet down the bottom there, so I can charge up all my gear. But the cool thing about that, it all fits in my bag, as you can see. So nice and simple, chuck it on your backpack, and you're good to go. I've also got the tripod that I'm talking to you right now, so the tripod sits there, and that does obviously tripod-y stuff. And the big piece of the whole puzzle is this brand new iPad Air I've got. So the idea between the iPad Air is, so I could be sitting here, right? iPad ready to go, log in, start actually fully editing a video on this device. So I suppose the big piece of this puzzle was, how do I get the editing out and about? And the iPad, in my opinion, was the best way of going about it. Now I've got a big computer at home, 32-inch ultra wide, all the power in the world, but the problem I've got is, once I get home, I'm doing other things. I'm doing house renovations, I'm doing whatever. So sitting down in front of that computer and spending a good couple of hours in front of it, because I suppose what most people don't realize is that YouTubers go out and film these videos. They generally take 2 days of like filming, so solid filming for 2 days. Then you get home, and then you got to start editing it. And generally a video might take 2 hours, might take 4 hours, depending on the length, depending how much effects and all that kind of stuff you want to put in there. So a big part I wanted to change of that is how can I start actually editing on the go? How can I be out here editing these videos and all that kind of stuff? So the cool thing about having all Apple products is I can obviously send the files directly from there to there and start editing while I'm actually at camp. And the good thing about the iPad Air, it is very, very small. So it's got a little keypad on there. Obviously it's a touchscreen because it's an iPad, but it's got LumaFusion in there, which is the new editing software that I'm going to use. But the best part is this little guy here, USB-C, connects up to it. That just goes on the side. I can connect my recorder up to it. I can connect all my SD cards up to it and start editing while I'm out and about. So as I said, the new editing software you're seeing right now, this is my whole suite of products essentially. I do have a drone as well, which is just a DJI Air 2, I think it is off the top of my head. But obviously I can connect all that up with SD cards as well. But what you're looking at right now is my brand new editing setup. So I'm absolutely stoked. I haven't actually done a trip with this yet, so I'm really, really keen to see how it goes on the trip. But I have edited a couple of videos through this already. So the last video I actually put out was edited through this. So I don't know if you actually saw a change or not, it's a change in video quality or whatever, but that was completely edited through this iPad. So I'm just sitting in bed making a video, which I think is pretty cool. Especially obviously coming back from the days of having like a big desktop and all that kind of stuff, and obviously transferring and all that kind of thing. But yeah, I'm pretty excited. So if you want to get into YouTube, right, I suppose the big piece is, how do I start? What do I need to get started? What's the big, do I need these big flashy cameras? Do I need this? Do I need that? Not really. So I started off actually with YouTube with an old DSLR. It did 1080p. I still use the DSLR to this day. Every single video you've seen filmed on my channel has been with that DSLR. So nothing's changed. The quality has been the same for the last 6 years. Only now I'm bumping it up. Obviously my editing skills and my audio skills and all that kind of stuff got better, but I started off with a very, very basic setup. DSLR with an internal mic, which was horrible. Then I moved up to obviously a shotgun mic and all that kind of thing. But you don't need all that. So if you've got a phone in your pocket that has 1080p, you know, 60, 30 FPS, you can start your YouTube career. Get yourself a nice, simple sound recorder and get a lapel mic, and you can do exactly what I'm doing right now. It's very, very simple. Editing, you don't even need the brand new iPad Air. You can get an older one. These obviously have been out for a while now. You can get last year's model, which essentially has the same processor as these, and still get absolutely fantastic speed. Edit your 1080p videos on the go. The LumaFusion is about $50, so it's not an expensive piece of software. So if you're trying to budget it and keep costs down, especially for your first couple of videos and that kind of thing, until you start monetizing and make a little bit of money out of it, you can actually do all your YouTube through only a couple of devices, which is pretty cool in my opinion. Get yourself a tripod. Don't scrimp on tripods. Tripods are a big piece. You don't want it to have wobble, you know, to don't want it to wobble and that kind of thing. And get yourself a video tripod, not a photo tripod. The video tripod has generally a few more axes on it, so you can obviously go up and down, left and right, and it's a lot more smoother. Whereas a photo tripod is generally centralized and it's a lot more locked in, because you want to keep the camera as still as possible. Whereas video, you want it to move around a bit. But as I said, you don't need GoPros and all that kind of stuff. I've done a lot of videos where I actually just put the camera outside the window and film as you're going along. So as I said, you don't need all these mounts, but definitely helps if you're trying to be creative and get different angles and all that kind of stuff. But a setup like this is, in my opinion, very, very simple compared to what a lot of things I've seen out there. You know, like $5,000 computers, $5,000 cameras and that kind of thing. And I'm trying to work out if the actual quality is any different. So I suppose the big piece is when I do my first video through this device and do a trip video out of it, which is coming up, by the way. I'm going to again edit so I've already edited one video through this. I'm going to edit it again through this and see if it actually changes how it looks, how it feels, the quality, all that kind of thing. So it's going to be real cool. I'm really looking forward to it. But essentially now, this is my new setup. I've literally got a couple of pieces, you know, a couple of devices to work with, a couple of GoPros, and a drone. And that's my complete setup. I'm stoked with it. And it all fits in a backpack. So lightweight, easy to carry around. I can literally put it up in the garage when I get home, hide it all away, and it's ready to go for my next trip. So for me, I suppose I don't need to drag all the stuff out, and I can literally just grab the backpack, put some food in the car, and go camping and film the whole lot, and still stay motivated for that, you know, for that next video. So I'm really, really excited for that. So yeah, this is the new setup. As you can see, it all fits work like, you know, I can be literally sitting here, making a couple of videos, sitting on my chair, whatever you want to do. I can literally do it on the go. So stoked for that. But look, this is what it's all about. I think like a car, right? You're trying to make it more simplified. You don't want all the bells and whistles. You don't want carrying everything with you. And I don't want to carry camera equipment, and I don't want to be doing this and having, you know, 5 or 6 cameras and all that kind of stuff. I feel like I can do it all through one. So the big piece for myself, as I suppose, just testing it out, getting through the sort of niggles and kinks, and then from there, I reckon next year the content is, especially now I can make it nice and easy, is going to go up tenfold. And I'm going to sort of stick back to my 2-week pattern that I've tried to be doing for the last couple of months, back to my 2-week pattern instead of my monthly pattern. The motivation is right back, and I'm keen to start making some videos, especially some trip videos. I'm really keen to get behind that. But I'm going to actually enjoy the rest of the day. I'm down here at Belvedere, or Buffalo Beach, however you want to say it, in Bunbury. So yeah, I'm going to enjoy these dunes, have a bit of fun. But as I said, have any questions, drop them down below. This is my brand new editing setup. I suppose in a nutshell, I'll break it down. iPad Air, iPhone 14 Pro, or any iPhone you want to get. A couple of GoPros, some chargers, obviously some cables, a power bank, and a drone. And that is me in a nutshell. Obviously all the peripheral devices you need to connect everything up, but that is pretty much the whole setup in a nutshell. So yeah, let me know what you think of the quality. Let me know what you think of all these things in the comments below. But if I don't see you in the next video, I might see you out here on the tracks and trails. And if I don't see you on the tracks and trails, enjoy your Sunday, and I'll see you later. Bye.